Kelpies, a water spirit of Scottish folklore, typically taking the form of a horse, known to drown travellers and weary children. Most people believe these to be mythical creatures, but some think they really exist. So you're studying mythical creatures, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Can you tell me a bit more about that and what specifically you do?
Right, well, I sort of look into the creatures, right? They're mainly in stories and folklore and stuff like that, but I think there's a wee bit of truth into that, so I'm aiming to prove their existence.
Okay, so you specifically look at Kelpies,
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what motivated you to, go into this quite unusual occupation?
Well, it was actually my dog, Emma. She was actually taken by Kelpies.
Did you see Emma get taken?
Well, not me, no, but my mum did. She told me she saw her being dragged away, and it sort of stuck with me ever since. But that's the main reason for starting my channel. I wanted to gain quite a few viewers about the topic. Of course, it came with hate, but it came with a lot of support and people wanting to know more. Putting light on this subject, these creatures, these stories, I think is quite beneficial.
As I'm curious about Scott's daily life, I wanted to see what he actually gets up to. So he invited me out onto one of his expeditions near a local lake. So, Scott, why have you brought me here specifically?
So I've brought you to this location specifically, right? It's near a body of water. It's in a public place. Kelpies sort of like to stay near moisture, right? And as it's a public place, there's parks, there's sort of sightseeing. Parents tend to bring their kids here, and Kelpies tend to prey on the young. So I think that best bet be in this kind of area.
Okay, so what will we be looking for?
Things such as tracks, maybe some signs of maybe eating, maybe perhaps munching on some grass, bark, anything. Honestly, could be absolutely anything. Oh, here. This is exactly what we're looking for. Can't get a wee bit of this. Aye, that's the one. A bit of that. Perfect.
So is this how you usually collect your samples?
Oh, aye. See, taste test is the easiest way to identify. See the gash here, and the moisture and the deepness. Most definitely Kelpie, but I'll send it away to the lab. It'll be crystal clear by then.
If you don't mind my asking, what does your family think about this new career path for you?
Well, certainly not the most supportive, but what can you do?
Scott was a funny one, man. He came up with the craziest ideas. I mean, he saw things that not many other people could see, But he wasn't quite the same after our dog died.
What exactly happened to your brother after your dog died?
He went nuts. I mean, this kid loved that dog, and it drove him insane. Once he latched onto the concept of Kelpies, he went hunting for them. And to be honest with you, Mum fueled that energy into him. It ruined him, and I don't think he'll ever come back from that, Dad had just died, and she was a raging alcoholic at that point. He started pinning up clue boards, doing pin-ups on his wall and stuff.
You've done a lot of research over the years, haven't you?
Oh yeah, sort of my pride and joy, actually. A few years worth. This isn't even all of it.
Did you write this?
Yes, good eye. This is actually my first published article in a newspaper after Emma went missing. You can see I had a sighting at Loch Lomond.
So where do you get all of your research and all this evidence and stuff?
Well, typically my investigations begin with missing pets. You can see here I had a note, missing pets near Loch Lomond, about 3 or 4 in that month, and that sort of was the reason behind that publish. But you see, I've also got some photos. I get some evidence when I'm at these sites. You can see very clearly some Kelpie tracks here.
How do you know for sure that they're Kelpie tracks and not horse tracks?
Excellent question. As you can see, these tracks there's not many, quite obviously one creature. And unlike horses, Kelpies are very isolated creatures, like to travel as one.
They're loners.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great word for it. But see, horses, they travel in herds, so it's very unlikely that you'd see just one horse track. And especially since this area is not very common for horse riders, it's sort of the clear, obvious answer as to what it is.
Is that by Loch Lomond?
Yes, absolutely. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, 100% certain, that these are most definitely not horse tracks. They're Kelpies, absolutely.
So it was a horse, definitely. I was out camping with Scott for a few days, and then there was a horse ranch nearby. I think Scott's just at the point where he's just using anything he can to just prove his obsession.
Do you have any more examples?
Yeah, so he has a YouTube channel. He was out in the street asking people questions about if they've seen any supernatural encounters.
I found the interview on YouTube. Indeed. It was made by Scott himself in the core of one of his investigations.
Excuse me, hi. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome, hi. So from a YouTube video, what's your name?
Bryce.
Bryce, I'm Scott.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, you that crazy dude from YouTube.
Yes! Yeah! Our first fan. Oh, do you know me?
I've seen a couple of your videos, yeah.
Oh, that's made my day. Oh my,
it's good to see you,
thank you.
It's good to see
Thank
you.
you so much. Anyway, yeah, first time camera, there you go.
Awesome.
I've got a picture. I've got a picture for you actually. So, Kelpies, have you heard of them?
Let me see.
Yeah, for sure. Got a picture here. There you go. What do you think?
Horse. Yeah. I saw one of these before.
Where?
Some dude, he was riding it down the road the other day at night.
Right.
At daytime of night. He was riding it down.
Okay. That's a lead. Can you tell me anything else?
I don't know. Just look out for a horse. You do all right.
Thank you so much. You've been a lifesaver. Come here.
Everyone could see this guy was on something, but he tends to ignore those sorts of signs. I think it just sort of motivates him more into his obsession.
In psychological science, we define an obsession as a desire or just an occupation that takes up so much room in a person's day-to-day life that it negatively impairs their ability to maintain a proper social or daily structure.
Would you say Scott is part of that as well?
Yes, I would say so. Just remembering from his file, he comes from a low-income household. His mother is an alcoholic. His father left at an early age, so he was never in the picture. He was bullied severely in school and had no friends. And his only childhood friend, his dog, vanished, leaving him very lonely. And loneliness is a precursor to some unhealthy obsessions.
Okay, so that... Unfortunately, we had to interrupt our interview because we received bad news that Scott has pulled out of the project. We're not exactly sure why. He received a call from his mother, got told something, and now he's told us that he's not wanting to take part in the project anymore.